Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Transformational Storytellers show. I am just so happy because today we have a very special show with some special guests, and it's just fantastic. I'm going to let him in right now and letting them in so that you can all see these amazing people, and they're going to talk to you in just a few minutes. But I'm so excited about our show today and happy that we're going to be having an amazing conversation and just really celebrating the power of taking care of our mental health in Mental Health Month, which we're about to wrap up. So excited that we have everyone here today. Hi, everybody. Wave and stay muted for a little bit, but we are going to talk. So one thing that I want to say about Mental Health Awareness Month is that it's really important that we think about our mental health as an asset. And it is really, truly one of the most precious assets that we must take care of. It is really key that we understand just how important it is to not only take care of our physical health, but also our mental health. And as you have noticed, I am wearing green because that's the color of mental health. And I've tried to wear green all May long because that's how much of a nerd I am. Sabrina's wearing green too. Yay. And Daisy a little bit. Yeah, so without further ado, I want to start by reading a poem from my latest poetry book. And it's on page 115. Yeah, 115. And it reads, Actually Strong. You said be strong, but here's what I heard. You're weak, a burden. It's time to pretend. Put on a positive act, stuff it down, perform being unbothered, say it'll be okay. You mean well, but now I don't let you see my suffering. Don't let you know I'm hurting. Tell you I'm fine instead. It's either alone or a nuisance. Be the strong one to be praised. Don't want to make you uncomfortable, so I hide my truth in shame. And here, along with myself, I say, your feelings are safe. You don't have to be strong right now. Your vulnerability is your strength. And that's just something that I wrote, thinking about all of the times in which we are told in society to be strong, to be positive, to realize instantly and magically that everything is going to be okay. And today's show is about saying, no, let's be vulnerable, and our vulnerability is our strength. And that's why I invited some special guests that you see today, and I'm going to introduce each of you, and allow you to please share just a tiny bit about yourself as I call your name. And that's why I invited these amazing people, because they know what it's like to be vulnerable when actually people expect silence. And living in a society when we are expected to be strong by stuffing our feelings, by not saying what's happening with us, by not admitting that we're struggling, we want to flip that narrative. And not only Mental Health Month, which actually is ending. And there's a purpose. I waited till the end to share this because it actually needs to be a conversation for all year long. And how grateful I am that we have an awareness month so that we can all raise our voices and speak up. And that's my theme for this show, is to invite everyone to speak up. Many times we want to be quiet, be silent, whisper, mutter, because we are afraid to be heard and the consequences that that brings. And what I've learned throughout my life experiences is that the more I speak up, the stronger I am. And so I'm going to start with the people that I see on my screen. I see first Traci. Traci, would you let everybody know who you are and why are you here?
Hi, my name is Traci Shannon, and I was known for a long time as Star Traci, but now I am the founder and creator of Your Second Act Life, which I'm so proud to say that. And I will just, reiterate everything that you said because for me, I hid behind the smile. And that was my silence, is that everything's okay. I'm just smiled my way through my life. And so I'm just really pleased to be here and listen and learn and share as well, because I think a lot of times people who smile a lot and seem positive don't get seen for maybe struggling. So thank you for hosting today.
Thank you for being here. Sabrina, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Yeah, so excited to be here. Thank you. Um, my mission really in everything that I do is to guide people who experience fear and trauma. So mental awareness and awareness about mental health conditions is very crucial in my line of work. And the trauma and fear that the people I work with mainly experience comes from culture and gender labels, comes from expectations that the society puts on us, but we also often put on ourselves. And it also comes from stereotypes that we all absorb from society and often are not even aware of. But that puts a lot of pressure on a lot of people. And I really help people in creating a safe, connected, and meaningful life, because those are the three things that we all wish to have in our lives. We want safety, we want connection, and we all look for meaning. And that's why having this conversation about mental health is so crucial, because it's very interlinked with safety and how safe we can feel. It's interlinked with how we can connect with others or with ourselves. It impacts that a lot. And of course, if we want to find the meaning in our life, we have to be healthy, because when we are not mentally healthy or even physically not healthy, we cannot use any of our energy to go deeper. So I'm very excited for what we are sharing here today.
Yeah. Melissa, tell us who you are and why you're here, love.
Okay. Yes, thanks for having me. Um, Mental health awareness is very important to me. I am a vocal coach of 35 years, and it really has been so important to me to help people not just to sing, but to actually speak their truth, to actually say something, because I spent most of my life in silence. Any feelings that I had, I was just shut down. And I lived, like, my life on the outside. And any feelings that I had, I thought, you know, like you were talking about, it's a weakness, or it's, you have to be strong and show that you're doing well no matter what, and all those things that my friends have also reiterated here. So it's really important. Yeah, it's so important to actually use your voice and speak your piece, and not even to just stand up for yourself, but actually just to know that you can make sound. And if you're sad, that you can make a sound with that and connect to how you feel by making sound. So it's, yeah, super important. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Glad you're here too. Right. See, Tony, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tony Jones. One of the things I speak about is mental health and mindset. And I just want to share that vulnerability has power in it. It's actually explains who you are and what you're dealing with. And if you explain that to people, then people can actually understand you. So thanks for having me here.
Of course, I'm glad you're here. I see Alejandra next. Tell us who you are and why you're here.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Alejandra. I see lots of beautiful and familiar faces, and I am a speaker and a spiritual guide, an artist, and I'm really excited to be here to speak on mental health and awareness because I think that we are living in a time right now of great healing and great transformation. And where my role, I feel like, comes in is living that life and path of devotion. And what does devotion mean, to each and every individual? How is it unique? And how is being a devotional person bringing a sense of health and, most importantly, a sense of peace to our world? So I have specific areas where I feel aligned to support a big healing. One of them is with the wounds of sexual trauma and sexual assault in our world, which, only go to show the places where we as a collective, we as humanity are really hurting. And because there is no health of the mind. And so how can we have bigger conversations around it? How can we look at it from different perspectives that maybe open our eyes to view it in ways that are able to allow everyone to heal? So I'm just very excited to be here with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Daisy, Dr. Daisy, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see everyone again. I see familiar faces as well. My name is Dr. Daisy Valentin, and I am the CEO and president of Valentin Consulting. I wear several hats. I am a Mary Kay sales director, as well as author and a professor at a university. So one of the things that I've seen, and it's really good to hear this, is many times where we have small businesses, like myself, I have small businesses, and mental health is not something that we think about. But many times we don't realize that some of the times that because we're small businesses, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we don't think that we have that. In my culture as well, you never was able to think about mental health. Like mental health was something that you can't do that. You're crazy. You can't be talking about mental health. So it's really, as you become more aware of how mental health can really affect your business as a small business owner too, because you're putting so much pressure on yourself, that creates somewhere where we have to make awareness too, and that myself included, that, I'm starting to make myself more aware of that I need to take care of myself because of my mental health, mental awareness. And it's really good to speak about it. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here too. All right. And the beautiful Tiffani, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Hello, I'm Tiffani Patlan. I am an author, speaker, and legacy healing educator, and I help parents who are ready to heal their childhood trauma so that way they don't pass that on to their children. And this allows them to raise emotionally whole children. And I feel like trauma and mental health, they go hand in hand. And I personally have so much experience with healing from my own trauma and caring for my mental health. So I'm really, really eager and happy and passionate about mental health. And I'm so happy to share what I have experienced and what has worked for me, because I want other people to know that they're not alone and that there is ways out of it. Like, you do not have to suffer. Like, you can care for your mental health in very simple, easy, but powerful, amazing ways. So thank you for allowing me to be here to share my tips with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. I see J.Lynn. Tell us who you are and why you're here, love.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see everybody. This is exciting. So I am J.Lynn, and I'm a writer and poet, ambassador of the pen, and mental health is one of the biggest hidden, in my experiences with people, one of the biggest hidden things that we do. We can't hide a lot of things that eat at us. And mental health is one of the things that it's no longer hidden. And I think for me, when I discovered just the short stories of other people, you feel real isolated because it is a unique and individual thing, and you don't want to talk to other people who are going through it because they don't have a way out either. It's just kind of an entrapment. So when I started just going to groups, whether it be a Facebook page but I started writing about it, just sharing my own. And then you find an outlet with other people that when you first come together, first they hide it very, very well. All of us have hid it very well in coming together. And then as we write and it comes out, we realize I realized how connected I am to the other authors in their pain, in their isolation, in their confusion. And what the breakthrough does, just in speaking about it, singing, writing, sharing, storytelling, all of the above. So I think this is very impactful. It seems very surreal, but more and more people are coming to a sad spot near you to just, books and lectures and teachings and just Thursday morning podcasts like this. So, yeah, there's help out there. People are out there. We're all out there. And I think learning to talk about it, and this is a big step. And I'm so grateful for everybody. So thank you.
You. Right, Shannon, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And my name is Shannon Stotts. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a psychospiritual social worker, workplace culture strategist, keynote speaker, and author. I am the CEO and founder of Stock Spectrum Consulting, LLC, and I am known as a soul work therapist. And I have a strong passion for helping people. I've assisted geriatric populations, adults, children, and my mission is to help the youth to improve their mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being by providing evidence-based tools and practices to assist them with building their social circles and improving their interactions and relationships. So I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of the conversation because, again, whether it's within our culture or whoever culture we're in, mental health is something that's like on the rise. And a lot of people are tapping into the fact of, you know what, maybe I need to go and have a conversation with someone. Maybe I do need some extra tools. Maybe it's another way I can go about how I've been navigating life. So it's really important to have that conversation and to say there are resources and tools that are here, and let us have that conversation. Let us talk about it so that way we can see what you need, because everybody's path is different. So it's important to have different tools depending on what path that person may need. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, and last but not least, one bit. Kim, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Hi, my name is Kim Urbanek, and I am a workplace violence prevention expert and an author and a transformational storyteller and speaker. And I am here because I'm extremely passionate about violence prevention and about gender-based violence as well as workplace violence and the trauma that comes into all of our lives that we don't expect in the small ways and how it changes us. And so I think I'm continually learning about how to show up authentically. And that means being able to show up with vulnerability as well. And I have always worked to be the pillar for other people. And I continuously have to be reminded that I can't just give support to people. I have to be willing to also receive support from people and model the behaviors that I want people to practice in reaching out to others. Connection is so crucial and connection is key. And so I am not just here to represent mental health in our personal lives, but also in our workplaces and psychological safety that erodes how we feel, erodes trust, creates burnout and depression in our personal lives because of our workplaces as well. So I think we have to have peace of mind in all of our environments. And so I'm so grateful to be here and be part of this conversation with so many wonderful people, and especially with Elina. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. So give me a heart or post a comment about these amazing people in the comments. I want to hear if you have any questions for any of them. I am really surrounded by remarkable people. That's something that I don't take for granted and that I give thanks for every single day, is to be surrounded with these incredible people. And I look at all of the faces and I love each one of you so much. And I have deep admiration for each of you. And that's why you're here. Another reason that they're all here, that we all have in common is, and if you look at Traci, Shannon, you can see the Gifts of Pain books right next to her. And so everyone, you could see, everyone here has been a contributor to the Gifts of Pain. And in addition to that, said yes to translating their chapter into Spanish. And so I want to say that, growing up in the Dominican Republic and, growing up in circumstances that were definitely not ideal in any single way, I realized early on that it wasn't okay to say that you were not okay. And I remember seeing this, and this is something that I talk about in one of my TEDx talks, seeing this cartoon series that I used to watch when, we finally got a TV, black and white, kind of this big. And it was a cartoon named Candy, or Candy Candy. And there was a Prince of the Hill, El Príncipe de la Colina. And I remember Candy she was my hero because she was so honest about everything that she was going through. And she went through so much in her life. And yet she met the prince and he was so dreamy. And he had this, how do you call that? This outfit, this Irish kind of kilt. Okay, good. And he said to her, "You look prettier when you smile than when you cry." And that was a pivotal moment for Candy, because then she started to smile more and be less authentic about what she was going through. And at the same time, I heard people, the wise women in town and everyone around my family said, calladita te ves más bonita, which means when you are quiet, you look prettier. And having been told all my life that I wasn't the pretty one and that I would never be the pretty one, I decided that if I wanted to be pretty, I needed to smile more and speak less. And I think, about that, and I think about my culture, and I think about all of the countries that speak Spanish around the world, and I want to honor each of you for helping me remind everyone who's listening that it's not necessary to smile when you don't feel like it, and that you can speak up, and there will be willing ears to sit with you in that pain. And I really appreciate that we have this conversation today, that you are authors in the gifts of pain, that you have been so brave and vulnerable to share not only your story, but the feelings that you experience with those stories. And I know that in the book, you also shared tools that you used to go from where you were to where you wanted to be. Now, this is not to say that all of us here don't struggle. If you know anything about my poetry books, they are struggle poems. And every single day we struggle, and that's why every single day we must take care of our mental health. Just like you would take care of yourself when you have a headache, when you have a cough, when your hand hurts, or any part of your body signaling to you that something is off. It is an ongoing maintenance plan. So by no means are we giving tools that are going to be a magic pill for you to take all of your all of your struggles away. It doesn't exist. And so these are tools to manage, to actually take charge of your mental health, so that you can live a more peaceful, quality life, and so that you can find everything that you need to be able to have a life of passion, meaning, freedom, joy, because it is possible. And we live in a world where you can both smile and cry, both struggle and be joyful, both hurt and heal, all at the same time. So I'm gonna go in the same order and ask the same question, or ask a different question. And it is, would you share one tip with our audience but that they can use right now to improve or maintain their mental health? And I'm going to start with Traci. Shannon.
For me, I've begun naming what I need. I've been to other people and to myself. I write it down in my calendar, what I'm looking for. And I've also started not shying away from communicating to the people I love, instead of assuming that they know what I need. And I find that they actually like that as well. So not being afraid to ask for what you need in life has been transformative for me.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. And I see a lot of heads nodding. And I absolutely love that tip. So write it down. Make sure that you are making a decision to let your needs be known and ask for them. I love it, Traci. Thank you. Sabrina, what is your tip?
Yes, I would say that the foundation really for healing or maintaining mental health is coming to terms with our thoughts and emotions. Most of the time we feel it's very overwhelming to look at them and to accept them. So coming to terms with them is really a struggle often. We run away from them, we do other things, we ignore them in whatever ways are possible. And so a really big changing moment in my life was when I slowed down a little and I started writing down what I really felt and thought in whatever form. And I began actually, before I could write, it was just walks and me asking myself open questions and then listening to my own answers and slowly realizing what was really going on. Because I had lived with depression, burnout, and really immense fear and trauma for years. But I had functioned so well that even I myself did not know how much I was suffering until there was a breaking point and I started just walking in the forest. You can also walk in the streets, wherever it's possible, wherever you are, a walk is almost always possible. And then getting a piece of paper and starting to write so that you can have clarity of your thoughts and emotions. Because from clarity is when you can make decisions. That's when you can start saying, okay, this is where I stand, and this is where I hope to be in the future. And you can start taking small steps forward.
Oh, that's so powerful. Yes, yes, yes. And I want to add to that, not judging the answers that come, because I think that one of the things that has given me a lot of freedom is to write anything that comes up, no matter how awful it might sound to other parts of myself. One of my journals is a breakup journal, and I invite people to write angry letters. And that's something that surprised even myself, because that's something that I would have never done, just judging myself that I would be angry. Anger is one of those emotions that gets a lot of a bad rap, I guess. And it doesn't really matter how you feel. It's not negative. It's not positive. It is just how you feel. So it doesn't matter how it comes out. It is valid and it is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Melissa, what is your tip?
Well, use your voice. But I think I have a suggestion on how to do that, because like myself, I was silent for so long. So when I had feelings and I didn't even want to write them down because I didn't want them to be real when they were, bad feelings. But even happy was not safe. It was it just was not safe to have feelings at all. So, which was my experience. And, so holding all of that in can make us physically ill, and it can also affect our mental health. It makes us anxious or depressed, or the anger, all that. So, and then like for me, I would take the anger and turn it inward too. So anyway, so I have a suggestion for how people can actually use their voice, which is to take a song. It has nothing to do with singing. You don't have to be a singer or even think that you sound okay. It doesn't matter. It's not how it sounds. If you take a song that means a lot to you, that has some lyrics that mean something, or even mimic things that you'd like to say, you can sing along like every single day. Just sing along and say the words out loud that might be difficult for you otherwise, that maybe, you know, somebody else had said for you musically. So you, there's a couple things you can do. One is you're getting used to saying these words. So you notice how you feel when you sing and say the words, especially the words and sentiments that would be difficult, and then embrace the entire experience of vocalizing them, like connecting to your words by connecting to how you feel physically, and connect to the physically to connect to your feelings, connecting to your feelings by connecting to your words. So whatever it takes, I just think, you know, we all connect to music. So it's impossible not to have the experience. And again, taking a song that really means something that now you're getting used to, if you do it every day, you're actually starting to say these words that were difficult
Love it.
before. You can also recite the lyrics out loud. You don't need the like, that would be a step two.
Yeah.
You know, you can actually say the lyrics like as if you're speaking them, and just getting used to your own voice to say words that are important for you to say that may have been difficult before. So
I love it. Thank you so much. The
sure.
song that came to my mind was Last Resort by Papa Roach.
That's great. That's a great one.
Yeah, that one was really pivotal for me for during that time that it was popular, and still I jam to it sometimes. All right, Tony, what's your tip?
Always have a positive mindset of yourself. Tell yourself you got what it takes to do whatever it is you need to do. Say it out loud. Say positive affirmations when you need to, and always believe in yourself, because you are powerful.
I love that. Not having a positive mindset about everything, but about yourself. Very specific. Think of that. I love it. Alejandra, what is your tip?
There we go. My tip would be to, really understand that if we are children of this earth, then there is an entire ecosystem and earth inside of us. And so we need to be really good at gardening. We need to think of our mental health, of our emotional body, of our physical body, our spiritual presence, as we are tending to a garden inside of us. So there are definitely going to be times, if anyone's a gardener, if anyone's tried to grow different things, it takes a lot of patience. We're not going to get as immediate results. Sometimes the weather might mess things up. And when we can start seeing our world as these archetypal metaphors, they can support us as to how we confront each challenge. So if today I need to cry, I will be watering my soil. Can we think of it like that? Now, if I water it too much, I need some support, right? It's going to overwater the plants. So if we can just start to think, like, have fun, play with it, and understand, oh my goodness, I am a gardener tending to my garden. What do I need? Sometimes we need tools. Sometimes we need outside support. Sometimes we need to dance and shake it off, celebrate. And I think if we walk that path devotionally, it'll be just a brand new way of looking at our world and our life.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And I just really resonate with that deeply. I think of James Allen as an analogy like that in his book, As a Man Thinketh. That's a book that I read every year. And he talks about our mind as a garden. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daisy, what is your tip?
Well, my tip is, as a business owner, it's really important to understand that you need to learn how to get help. I think many times, from my experience as a small business owner, we feel like we have to have it all together and that we need to do it ourselves. And many times we end up with that burnout, the mental health, where, you know, all the different pieces that come with mental health, because we think that we can't afford to delegate work. In my culture, it's really bad that we're just wanting to do. And, you know, I say it all the time, and my husband says it all the time too. Like, you work too much. You always got something on your plate. Like, and I'm learning how to understand that I need to for my mental health, I need to learn how to delegate. And it's not easy. We can't say that it's easy. It's going to happen overnight. We can't say that, you know, we have to have that understanding that it's not going to happen right now, but if we put a little bit to it every single day, that we will get there. And it was something hard for me as a small business owner to say, okay, I need to delegate this. It's not about finances.
Yeah.
It's not about my budget. It's about, if I can't get this done, then I can't get income producing activity done, or I can't have a mental health day, or I can't have a rest day. So it's about understanding where you need that space, so you can be able to continue to do the things that you want to do to thrive, and then also have that mental space for your own family. So many times I
Love it.
feel in my space that I have to do that. Like, I don't know if anybody else has that experience, but, you know, when I'm thinking about what Melissa says, what's that song that you want to put on? I always put on breaking chains. You know, break those chains, you know.
Yeah.
It's a Christian song to break the chains, you know. And so you have to think about, how are you breaking those chains, whether it's generational curses, cultural curses, you know, things that are traditional that we tend to just want to hang on to because that's the norm, that's the tradition. But you know what? It's not the norm. We're not the normal people. That's not where God wants us, right? God wants us to use our gifts and talents for what we need. And if that gift and talent is not checking emails or having to, you know, file paperwork, you know,
Yeah.
then you need to find somebody that can help you do that. You know, it's
Absolutely.
not easy. And many times we forget that financially we think, oh, we don't know, but have you been checking that? Have you delegated that? And that's a mental health
Yeah.
itself. I really want to stress on that,
It
because it's
gives us
not.
peace of mind,
Mhm.
and I think it's really key that we understand that support is available to us. I always
Absolutely.
say your rest is part of your work. Your rest is part of your work. And I love that, Daisy. Very,
You
very
can't give your
much.
100% if you don't take the rest. And I believe that, and I've experienced it.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so wise. Tiffany, what's your tip?
I agree with what Dr. Daisy said. Mine is very simple, powerful, but can be challenging. And it is simply to rest. Because, and I say this coming from a background of severe trauma in many different areas, and having an atheistic worldview, and now being a follower of Christ, his word says that he did not give us a spirit of fear, but of sound mind. We have a sound mind, and resting is what helps. Some people, like myself, have the tendency to go. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I have to do that. And then it's easy for us to get stressed out. It's easy for us to not be able to then manage our emotions, because we are overwhelmed mentally, physically, and spiritually in every single way. And when you take the time to rest, and believe me, I know how hard it is. Oh, but I have to do this, and I have to cook dinner, and I have to work. Even for men have so much pressure to provide. You know, it could be very, very hard for every single person. Every single human being in this world was not designed to just go kaput. We need to rest. We need to rest our bodies. We need to rest our mind, and we need to reconnect spiritually in whatever way that looks for you. That's so important. It is so tremendous, and it is so, so powerful. And it can look different for everybody. It could be listening to music. It could be writing. It could be physically gardening. It could be crying. It could be taking a nap, whatever that looks like to you. And sometimes it could take a minute. Sometimes people need weeks. Sometimes people will take a full month to just go inside and rest from the world. Whatever that looks like for you, figure it out. Try things and see what really works for you to allow yourself to rest. You deserve it. You are worthy of it. And it's a form of self-love, self-care. Just make sure you take care of yourself and rest.
Thank you so much. I love that. When my girls were 1 and 2, and I was living in this roach-infested apartment, and we were, in a very, very dangerous neighborhood, I would lock myself in the bathroom for 5 minutes and have 5-minute vacations where I imagined that I was on the beach and having fun. And that was all I could do at that time with the income level and the circumstances that I had. I think, if when you have certain privileges to do something different, but like you said, Tiffani, we figure out what we can do with the circumstances and the privileges that we have in that time. J.Lynn, we're almost out of time, but we still, everybody hang on a little bit, because we still have to hear from J.Lynn, from Shannon, or from Ken, and you don't want to miss it. J.Lynn.
Well, I agree with everybody what they've said. This is just so I don't know if there's any more to be said, but in the land of thought that we all have and the chaos gets going, for me, I don't know where to address and send things. It's confusing, it's painful, it's hurtful. There was no reason for that, or what was the reason? And I've just gotten to the method of it's a lesson, it's an experience, and just start there and get it off my emotions. And I can unpack it later with a pen or with music, or something will come along, or just be an outside grounding or playing with a dog. And all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, get it now. And that comes faster, the quicker I can just give it an address, and it goes to some place that later just, it's an ugly seed or whatever it is. I'm not burying it. I'm just giving it a place to go to get it off my emotions and off that place of just confusion. And it just keeps coming at you. So that's my suggestion, along with everybody else's. And we all find our spot. But that's kind of what I'm seeing, that missing thing. Just give it an address right away and say, boy, this is going to be a good lesson. Or, even if it's embarrassing or whatever, boy, am I going to get a laugh out of this later? Just give it a place to go and get it off your
I
emotions and
love it. Oh
off your
my
heart.
goodness. Yes. I love it. Put a stamp on it. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. So good. Shannon.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I agree with everyone. Again, my tips will be definitely first, go to therapy. I'm a therapist. I'm always going to say go to therapy. Also, make sure you're going to your primary care doctor. So, because sometimes you may have an imbalance biologically that's causing some of the issues that you may be having. So make sure you get checked out. Make sure you get your labs drawn. Sometimes if your vitamin D is low, or if different creatinine levels are low, it's going to impact you mentally. So make sure you're being seen, going to the doctor. I'm a big advocate about mindfulness and grounding. So sometimes going outside, putting your feet in the grass will definitely help reset. Listening to guided meditations, they have great ones on YouTube that can help you a lot too. If you're a writer, have a piece like a journal and split it in half. One side is for like things that brighten your day. It could be you saw the sunrise from the east and it made a big impact on you. Write things that happen down. It can be every day. It can be days where you find like, wow, that really brightened me up. Write it down. And then the times where it kind of made you a little irritated, put that in the back of the journal, because the biggest thing is getting it off of you. So in the back, write down the stuff that's kind of icky. In the front, write down the things that are bringing you peace and joy and love. So on those days where it may be kind of heavy and you really can't find a lot of goodness, go back to that peace journal and you can look through the days and say, you know what, there are some good days in here. So that helps you to reframe. So my biggest thing is grounding and making sure you're checking on yourself and your being.
Oh, I love that so much. Yes, yes, that's That's the address J.Lynn was talking about. The back, that's the address. The back of the journal. Kim, what is your tip, my love?
Thank you. Yeah, I had to change my location. Sorry, my video is making me spotty. So I just wanted to share that my tip would be to give yourself grace and
Mm.
to also, as they say, always put your own oxygen mask on first before you help others. And so, as somebody who always is busy, always is prioritizing others, always wants to be the caregiver, and is always really trying to help, you can sometimes lose yourself. So, that self reflection that so many people have talked about is essential. That vulnerability and being able to reach out and connect and prioritize your own well being over others. You cannot continue to give from depleted resources. And so allow yourself some grace to do that. It's okay. For me, it always felt very selfish, I was always taught and trained that we put others before ourselves. And so it felt very selfish to, um, pull time for myself when other people are asking. It's okay to say no. It's okay to prioritize yourself. And it's essential if you want to continue to show up for others. So,
I love that. Oh my gosh. No is a complete sentence.
yeah,
Yeah.
is a
Yes.
complete.
Yes. I love that. Oh my gosh, so good. Thank you everyone for your tips and for your presence, for taking the time to be here. I'm gonna give my own tip, and that actually is something very simple that I learned when I was facing homelessness with my then 1 and 2 year old, and I was in the lowest moment of my life, and how I actually came up with the inspiration that was given to me to start my blog. And it was a moment in which I couldn't come up with a to-do list to come out of the darkness and actually desperation that I was feeling. And it was a download that happened for me of inspiration and of light. And it was writing a to-be list. This is something that I've been doing for 21 years since that day when I was laying on the ground in the fetal position. Rather than writing what to do every day, I know that people are really big on to-do lists. And if you love it, keep it. I actually write a to-be list every day of who I want to be today, how I want to show up. After I came back to life from an 8-day coma and being declared dead, I realized that every day is a lifetime. It's a mini lifetime. You only have today. And today you get to decide who you want to be. And that means your whole healthy self, and putting into consideration all of these beautiful tips that we have heard today. What is it that's going to help you accomplish being for yourself and for the people in your life? Because ultimately, that's the biggest legacy that you leave. It's not what you do, it's who you are. The energy that you bring to your own life and to those around you. So I'm going to invite you to do that. Thank you for listening to these beautiful souls. Connect with them. I'm going to leave their contact information in the show notes so that you can continue to experience their wisdom. And of course, they have a book coming out this Saturday, Los Dones del Dolor, which is their chapter in Spanish. And they also have been participants of the Gifts of Pain series in different volumes. So you can reach out to them so that they can send an autograph copy with their chapter. Thank you so much for being here at the Transformational Storytellers show. Once again, I love you. I love each and one of you. And let's continue protecting and preserving and maintaining our mental health. It matters. Bye, everybody. Love you.